Hello, today I would like to welcome you to Terrence Senior and Terrence Junior One Mic Podcast. It is our hope and intention that the listeners will find our podcast to be authentic and will be the example of how iron sharpens iron and one man sharpens another by creating a relationship with our men and women listeners based on the realness of our conversation. The first episode of our podcast is inspired by the excerpt from the book The Power by Rhonda Burns called Life Follows You. I will now read the Life Follows You excerpt to our listeners. Destiny is no matter of chance. It is a matter of choice by William Jennings Bryan, United States political leader. Life follows you. Absolutely everything you experience in your life is a result of what you have given out in your thoughts and feelings, whether you realize you have given them or not. Life is not happening to you. Life is following you. Your destiny is in your hands. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, will decide your life. Everything in life is presented to you for you to choose what you love. Life is a catalog, and you are the one who chooses what you love from the catalog. But are you choosing the things you love, or are you choosing, or are you too busy judging and labeling the bad things? If your life is far from wonderful, then you inadvertently label all the bad things. You've allowed the things you think are bad to distract you from the purpose of your life because the purpose of your life is love. The purpose of your life is joy. The purpose of your life is to choose the things you love and turn away from the things you don't love so you don't choose them. This this excerpt to me is real food for one's own mental thought, where one is in search for the hidden justice which regulates their life. We have to come out of our cocoons to unlock the purpose of one's will, one's life by choosing the things we love and turning away from the things we don't love so we don't choose them. I would like to have a conversation with my oldest son about me, his father going to prison when he was 4 going on 5 years old and how it affected him growing up. This conversation between me and my son will challenge our listeners to reflect back upon their own memories and lives in search of the hidden justice which once regulated their lives or still is. Let's start off by introducing ourselves to the listener. I'm Terrence Sinclair, and I move off of logic because I search for the cause of things and not merely the effects. I've been incarcerated for over 29 years for allegedly committing the crimes of attempt murder and other related charges. By doing this podcast, me and my son are striving to rise above and to extend ourselves beyond our present situation to show that we are builders of our legacy, not destroyers. Terrence, Terrence, please can you introduce yourself to our listeners and then tell listeners something about yourself? Uh,
It's about myself. I would say I'm a more so like a stand up person, kind of look out for everybody, honest. I move off of, what's right and what's wrong for most part. Stay to myself. It's kind of one of the things that I, work on.
this is a list of questions that I have for my son. My first question to you is this. If you are creating the story of your life, what story are you telling about yourself? Of your earliest memories about me as your father before I went to prison in 1996, and then how it affected you over the last 29 years.
So my earliest memories of you, I do remember like riding around in your truck. I remember riding around in your cars. I do remember you taking me to and from daycare. And that's just early as 3 years old. That's just as far as I can remember. You know, but I do remember, my brother Julian being around him, always being around. I remember, you know, Ree. I remember Gina. I remember Mika. All of them. Um, how has it affected me over the last 29 years? I just personally feel like I don't know. I just feel like certain experiences I was, robbed of more so. Like shit, going fishing with pops, going being able to learn how to drive, taking me to and from football games and shit like that. I just, I see be on the sideline, see niggas with their pops and be like, damn, wish pops was here, but I know his situation, but it ain't nothing I could do about it.
And I apologize for that, depriving you of those experiences.
Yeah, I accept your apology, man. It's been a long time
Hmm.
though. We stayed in contact. One thing we always do is stay in contact. Even from jumping state to state early on as a kid, from Florida to Missouri to back to New York or from New York back to Florida, etc. State to state, even with me being in Texas, you found a way to get in contact with me. So
No, that's
I
my duty.
commend that part. I commend that part. And that's one thing that I did take from you, regardless of whatever the situation may be or the situation may be, keep trying.
Hmm. I made a promise to you when you was born, and I held you in my arms for the first time. I will always be there for you, and no matter our situation, like you said, I found a way to find you. That's that's what was the most important thing to me.
And yeah, for you to do it from behind walls is even more commendable because, niggas can't even find niggas or people can't even find people on the regular. Just people can't even
Mm-hmm.
find their parents just looking for them on the internet, just staying in contact. You'd be surprised. But that's more commendable and honorable than anything.
Now I commend your mother. She never denied me access to you when you were younger. That I commend her about. No matter what we went through in life, she never denied me you, and I deeply appreciate her for that. This is my next question. Living in a single parent home with your mom, were there any men in my absence that taught you that work is destiny and the individual who works for a living to secure the needs of himself and those who are dependent upon him is manifesting attributes of manhood and of character. And such a man is more valuable, responsible, and conscious of the needs of his loved one.
Um, Men wise, it's probably one, but it was briefly, because he passed away. But Craig, that probably was the only one, and it was more so on the fact that because we was bumping heads early, like I wasn't accepting of, you know, my mama dating somebody and we staying with Granny. I felt like it should have been us first, then that next. But once she got us back, and we moved back to New York, first, he was alive what 2 months for after 2 3 months after we moved there. So we got there first month and a half, we was bumping heads. He pulled me to the side and had a conversation. Was like, I'm not trying to be your dad. I just, I'm here. I'm with your mama. I love her. I respect her. I'm not trying to be your dad. You got a dad. I'm just here for you whenever you need me. And after we had that conversation, everything was green, but it just ended, briefly. A month and a half later, he died.
Mm. As a father, I want to thank him for trying with you because most men only only worry about the woman what they could get out of him, but he was trying to be a stand-up dude from what you tell me. And like I said, may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
And I
Rest in peace to him.
appreciate him. Okay, when I went to prison and then a couple years later your mom went to prison, did you now feel abandoned by both me and your mom?
Um, Abandonment, no, cause y'all kind of stayed in contact.
Mm. No, I
And then
I
again,
feel
I just feel like, I mean, as far as abandonment, no. I mean, I didn't know my mama was in jail for a long time. I mean, it wasn't nothing that was coming back to us that she was locked up. It was just she gone, Mustafa here. It's like we went to Florida, we got there, Mustafa was with us, and you know, it just was Mustafa in the house. He the little brother.
mm,
So it was
how it
like,
feels to have a little brother.
how did it feel to have a little brother? Shit, it felt great. I mean, that's I felt like that was another addition to the family. I ain't have to be the youngest no more.
Oh, you was. Now I think about it, you was the youngest.
Yeah, I ain't have to be
Okay,
the youngest
okay.
no more.
Oh man. Uh, do you appreciate your grandfather Griffin, Miss Lil, and your aunt Glenda's help raising you when you were younger?
Yeah, I appreciate all of them. Grandpa and Grandma Lil, they I don't know. It was just they brought that family vibe. It was like more so like everybody was over there. Everybody was cool with them. Everybody knew with them. Knew them. The church knew them. You go outside, the regular people know them, and it just was like everybody. You know what I'm saying? Loved her and Grandpa, and it was just good energy. Nobody never came with negative energy around them, and if it was, then you know it kind of got deaded quick. I appreciated them. I feel like my granddad, he the one that taught me how to fish for sure. For the most part, I feel like he taught me a lot of stuff as far as just how to handle kids. Cause I know I was a wild one, and yeah, he was older, so sick in his
Mm.
60s. So for him to be dealing with a 9 or 10 year old as bad as hell, I commend him for that. Cause I would have been kicking ass. And then they also had a good
Okay.
support system too. They had their kids. So, whenever we got out of line, they came, my uncles came, uh, Uncle Shamari came, all of them, all of them. It was, and then Glennis, she definitely had all our cousins and stuff. So we was over there, with them spending time. That's all we knew. Them was our first cousins that we knew. Didi and Andrea.
Hmm.
And them the first cousins we knew. So that we was always over there with them. But what do I take
Okay.
from it? I mean, it just brought family vibes, what they supposed to be doing when somebody fucking up.
Mm. How did your grandmother, Miss Madeline, change your life when she got custody of you and your brother, Fat Man Mustafa? And then, second part of the question, what do you love and appreciate the most about your grandmother, Miss Madeline, Fat Man, and Mustafa?
So my granny Madeline, what I appreciate about her, she what did she bring? I felt like she brought stability because once we got her, it was like we got a home, we good, we got food, we got family around, etc. Then she also brought, more so that enforcer role because she ain't tolerate nothing. And if we were bad, we got our ass whooped. We was held accountable for our actions, for the most part. My brothers, what I appreciate about them, shit, they kind of helped me mold me to who I am. I kind of learned from both of them, good and bad. My older brother, I feel like Fats, he was the first person I kind of looked up to. He was older. When it came to the girls, he had the girls. He was dressing fly, etc. He was the first nigga I knew. That was the first person I knew. I felt like and back to my earliest memories, first person I knew, the first person I really looked up to. Now Mustafa, that's my little brother. What I take from him, I mean, he's smart as shit. He kind of got that little I don't care attitude to him. He really don't care. And then he just him. He don't care, and you can't do nothing but respect it.
I like him because he got that that fly guy aura about him. He's smooth. I like that picture you sent me of him. I don't know where y'all was at. Was that Kansas City that
Yeah,
you
that was him. He
that you
had
took
on
that
he had
picture?
on the coat. That was in Kansas City.
Now, that wasn't just any coat. That was that player coat.
Yeah, that definitely was.
He was like he's on top of the world type shit. You got, but
Probably was
I
feeling
always
like
like
it too.
yeah, I never met him. I hope to meet him. You know.
Yeah, that's little brother, man. He probably one of the realest niggas I know. Unfortunately, and that's my little brother. Cause that nigga don't care. He ain't gonna kiss my ass regardless of whatever it is. He don't kiss my ass for nothing. He gonna say what he say and don't care. And I only want them type of people around me. Them the type of people I like around me. I don't, people think I take shit offensive, but no, if you honest and you and I respect you, can't do nothing but respect.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, what was it like growing up in Rochester, Florida, and Kansas City culture? And how did these three different city cultures shape you into the man you are now?
I would say growing up in Rochester, it was more so I don't know, it was more rough. I felt like that was the roughest stretch of life. I felt like. Why? Because we was stable in home, but just as far as just what we needed as a kid, I feel like we didn't get to be successful and strive and be productive in life. We didn't get. Now support system was there, but at home it just wasn't the best place. And that's not to say all the time, but it was a hectic household for the most part after Craig died. But Florida, I felt like that was probably like the happiest we was as kids because we was around nothing but family, and that's all we knew was family, and that was it. Literally, family, family. That's all we had, and we kicked it. We was with each other every weekend. Old school family vibes. That everybody at that granny house on the weekend. In Kansas City, I feel like that's just kind of what made me. Because I feel like I went through experiences there, just a bunch of experiences, good, bad, you know, it is what it is. I just feel like that's just kind of what grew me up, or what raised me. Kansas City raised me. I say this all the time. Rochester birthed me. in Kansas City raised me. It just kind of what I know now is mainly from near friends, family, even people that ain't family. Because when we moved there, it was just only one cousin, and that's all we knew. There was just a bunch of strangers. We just had to figure our way.
What uncles live with you down in Rochester, Florida, and Kansas City that helped you help you grow as
In
a young man?
Rochester, um, my uncle Les, I say him because he was more so like the enforcer early on. Like nigga built, cut, Aki, big and shit. Like nigga got a name in the street. Niggas, you know what I'm saying? Why would you want to fuck with him? And then you a kid, the first, I seen, I remember him punching a hole through the wall. From that point on, I knew he wasn't nothing to fuck with. My but he a good dude. Like even now, if we used to call each other, he nothing but good energy and good vibes. In Florida, Uncle June and Uncle Les. Uncle June was more the cool uncle, you know what I'm saying? The one that let you get away with anything, don't whoop you. You know what I'm saying? The, he was a dad, you know what I'm saying? And I admired that about him. My Uncle Lou, you know what I'm saying? He was more so like the enforcer as well, but he was in a different state. That's my granny youngest son. Um I felt like he taught me a lot just as far as in life in general, certain situations to handle as far as business wise. But I love them, you know what I'm saying? They all got their own little, I don't know, I'm gonna end that right there.
Their own little ways about them.
Man.
How did you avoid getting into trouble with the law and not joining any gangs growing up as a teenager?
I
Secondly, how old were you when you realized that, or even understood the true meaning that your destiny was in your own hands because of whatever you think, whatever you feel will guide your life?
so I didn't really avoid trouble. I got in it early on from
Mm.
like, I say like 13, 14. I was getting in trouble. You fighting all the time. First situation with the law probably was like my freshman year in high school when I went up to the school and beat up a boy. They handcuffed me, took me to a little crazy home where I don't think I needed to be. They didn't take me to a juvenile center. They took me to a psych ward like I was crazy. And then from that point, I mean, I got into a couple instances, where shit, I had to beat somebody up on Christmas and had to sit in the Lee Summit Police Department jail till my granny got me out that night. I ain't really avoid trouble. It kinda came. You just learn from your situations. I'd have been to jail twice, but misdemeanor charges. It was more so, I did 30 days and a 45 days, and that was it. From that point, I kind of just, really just stayed out of it. I got in shit here and there, but with nothing too major that'll land me jail time.
Mm. Um,
I don't think it's no real age on that. I think you just start recognizing things more as you get older, and that just comes from experiences.
mm,
Because I feel like I'm still learning things now. Now, as far as learning that you got control of your destiny, I felt like that probably was like more so like 23, 24. Once I started transitioning as far as just staying at home. Once I realized I was getting into fights every time I left the house, it just wasn't worth it. And from that point, I've been cool and productive.
Where did that anger come from that made you always want to fight?
I ain't have no anger. That's what I
You
was
was
trying to tell
fighting all
people
the
growing
damn
up.
time.
Yeah, listen, it's a cause and effect to things in life. You fuck with somebody, somebody gon' you know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna fuck with you. You can't tell them how they fuck with you, how to fuck with you, or more so,
Mm,
or how to respond. You can't tell them that. And it was shit. It seemed like every other week somebody new wanted to find out, and it just was what it was. I mean, I
mm,
got control over that as I got older, more so once I realized, okay, everybody ain't as serious as me. And I take more so account as far as me being in my feelings. Shit, I ain't know how to respond to shit. I ain't know how to use my mouth. I know how to use my hands though.
okay. What type of music got you through the good, bad, and ugly times in your life over the last 29 years while I was in prison?
Music, I don't know, I'm more so of a 90s music head. Like I like Biggie, I like Pac, I like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't be listening to this new shit. I don't really know what's going on. Like it's a new artist every day. I'm stuck in that era, the early 2000s. So I mean, as
Mm,
far as just music wise, what I listen to, I mean the normal shit, 50 Cent. That was my favorite rapper growing up. Um, Nelly, shit, Pac, Biggie, the old them was my favorite rappers like growing up. That's who I listened to. That's what we knew. But the
mm,
type of music I like to listen to, I like R&B, I like soul, I like shit that slowed down, good energy, make you want to clean up or something.
mm. All right. Now that you, now that you're a father of a daughter and son, how have they changed your life for the better? And in your eyes, how have me and your mom replaced being grandparents?
All right, so it's how they changed my life as far as being a parent. They taught me patience, mainly patience. That's the main thing, and then how they bettered it. They just kept me in the house. They kept me in the house. They kind of give me more so a reason to, get up and go to work every day. Some days I don't feel like going to work. They kind of gave me motivation to do more or want to do more. And as far as grandparents, y'all, I feel like it's still coming as far as you, because it's more so over the phone. And with Terrielle, you could tell it. I mean, you give her advice, you talk to her. That's all I can ask y'all to do, is be there for them and get them the advice that they need to hear, just or learn from a different perspective outside of daddy.
Mm. I what was that? I like that when I gave you the 21 indispensable qualities of a leadership. So let me rephrase that: 21 indispensable qualities of a leader to Terry Hill, because I know I want her to be a leader, not a follower. And I know she lives in another state. I want her to know when she's not around you, I want her to always remember the things that you teach her, so she can be that leader that you know she's capable of being. Plus, she a burger, so I'm biased in terms of her being this burger. She, I know, I always tell you, I know how she thinking, and you know, because when we Virgos, when they're young, they be mainly in their head all the time, and I want her to always feel comfortable to talk to you, and I already see that, and I'm a proud I'm proud of you because I see how you talk to her and how she is happy when she arrives. So, as a grandfather, that makes me happy.
That's
And as
good.
far as Kai, I see how patient you are in him, and I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I don't know how to explain. I just love you got a boy and you showing patience with him because we, as young men growing up, to a certain extent, we didn't have men that was patient with us. They just do as I say, not as I do. You know what? If I'm following behind what I see you do, but then you tell me to do something else, you're contradicting yourself. You know, so but with like I see you with Kai, I know you really, really love him. I know you really, really love Terry. So I'm proud of you when it comes to that.
Yes, sir. Them my babies.
Okay, I hear you. Okay. Rapper Ice T dropped the jewel about having a relationship with a woman, and I would like to see if you agree with him. Do you believe when a woman meets the right man, it's the right time, and when a man hits the right time in his life, he'll be ready for the right woman?
Yeah, timing is everything. I say that because maturity level, financially wise, mentality wise, just might not be the same at the same time. I felt like she could have met me a couple years ago, or somebody could have met me a couple years ago, and just it wouldn't have been it for them. Versus, my girl
Mm.
now, when we started talking, it just was the right time. We just had the same vision, same goals, same mentality about certain things, and it just kind of clicked.
Mm. I said, how has your past relationship with the woman teach you how to treat them with respect and not become the helpless victim of a woman's poisonous emotions?
Being accountable, that just fall under this trio, it's the trio of accountability and correcting your behaviors and fixing them, or you either gonna keep doing the same thing. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. It all falls on accountability because we all know right from wrong.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. When reflecting back on your own personal life catalog, it contains many things you love and don't love. Can you share with the listeners how you find balance in your family, friendship, love affairs slash relationship, and fatherhood so they all can be built on a firm foundation?
I don't know how I balance it. I just do it. That's all. It's just kind of like either you gonna do it or not. Um, you know how to. I mean, I feel like we as an adults know how to. Tell people we should be able to tell people or communicate when it's not a good time or whatever the case may be. As far as parenting is never a good time, really. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
you just got to do it. It's just doing it. Just got to do it.
Okay,
It's a want to do it as well too. You got to want to do it.
that's true. That's true. God. How did it feel to meet your grandfather George at your uncle George's wedding in June of 2024? And did you enjoy meeting some of your cousins and other family members from my side of the family that you never met before?
How I felt when I met my grandpa, it was just kind of like, okay, this who my father's father is. Let me see what he look like, what I take from him, appearance wise, personality wise. he was cool as shit. So, I get that from him. I took that, I got that from him, you know. Meeting the family was good because I always kind of wanted to know, what that side was like. Growing up in different states, I couldn't really be there, or yeah, I wasn't present for them or a lot of family events, but it definitely was good meeting them, just being around people that you actually related to versus, people that you meet off the street or
Mm-hmm.
friends. It was definitely good meeting them though. It was a vibe though. And I think they fuck with
Now
me
from
for
the pit,
sure.
now from the pictures I seen, that was kind of like the first time I'm like seeing you like happy, you know, around your own and shit, and that made me happy because I always wanted you to feel like you belong, and that was the first time I seen you feel like you belong because it's like a picture with you and Tanisha, and I seen y'all laughing. Then the pictures with you, Antoine, Tanisha, um, who else? Um,
Julian.
Julian, Myra. Um, when I seen all y'all together, and then there's a picture with Antoine, Tanisha, Nia, Julian. That was like all the first cousins together.
Yeah, it
That kind of
felt
like
good
I
seeing them
could,
too, because I hadn't seen them since I was like 9 or 10 years old. And Julian, that was my
yeah.
brother. I ain't seen him since I left. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely was good. It's 21 years overdue for sure.
That long?
Yeah.
Oh man. My last question. You know that you, Nia, Julian, and my 8 grandchildren are my real legacy to this world. What does that mean to you?
What does legacy mean to me? It means everything that you work for, everything that you put into life, and just a representation of you in general. Rather it's image wise, personality wise, mentality wise, just it's everything for real, for real. And I feel like
Mm.
everybody gotta leave one.
What was your feeling that you remember when the first time you met Nia?
Why the hell is she not at this wedding already? I thought she was gonna be there. Why she pulling up? Like, nah, that's just the first time I met her, it was just like, wow, because I mean, it was more so over the phone because I was at work and I just got a call saying that I'm your sister. And it was like, okay, cool. Let me take this in. I'm gonna call right back. And I called her back. We chopped it up. But when I met her in person, it's just like, okay, she funny as shit. She goofy. She cool.
Mm.
That's little sis.
I apologize for that.
Nah,
My
cause you
my
showed called like a day late. Day too late.
Yeah. So I
Nah,
want
but
to
yeah,
thank your
she
mama
cool.
because
She cool.
yeah, I want to thank your mama because I talked to her about that whole situation, which she was already familiar and with, and she like gave it over there, introducing her to you and Julian, and I think that made it easier, you know,
Yeah. She cool though.
it made
That's
it
sis.
easy. Mm. Get on my nerves, but I love
Oh yeah.
her.
That's her job and duty.
No, I kind of understand now that you have a daughter, and how you react to Terry L and what I miss with growing up without her is it, you know. And I guess I'll spend a lifetime trying to make it up with her because she's my first daughter, and I miss growing up with her, and I always want her to know that I love her and she means the world to me, you know. And I know she loved me. That's my daughter.
You have 1 minute left.